It's Fragrance Friday. Phoenix J back, y'all, and it is the final section, the final episode of Fragrance Friday, focused purely on my colors of the collection. And I'm really excited because moving forward, I have so many new bottles I'm excited to share with y'all. We're gonna get into the Q&A very, very soon. In fact, that's gonna be exclusive to YouTube. That is gonna be exclusive here. So if you have more questions, definitely throw them down in the comments below. I'm gonna do a maybe one, two, three-part situation on some of the questions because I'm getting a lot of questions across all formats, especially now that I'm more active on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. So I've been getting more questions. So we'll be getting into that next week. The Q&A will be kicking that off. And I'm also gonna start sharing some of my favorite pairings, my favorite layers, like my go-tos, because it was requested. Like I've been having some go-tos outside of trying new fragrance, and I'm excited to share those combinations because I think that's also going to be another layer of who I am and how I experience and love fragrance, and how I love for like my presence to be known. Like, oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. So, okay, we're gonna get into the white section here. We're gonna get into white and cream bottles. There are a few gold accents here. With this section, most of these fragrances, I don't think I've really gone super crazy deep into detail about. So there'll be a lot of new ones that I'm introducing to you all that I'm excited about, and there are gonna be some that y'all have heard of and have seen me rave about time and time again. So. When it comes to the color white, I think most people think of purity, cleanliness, of heaven, angels, whatever. And while that is a component of it for me, um, in a lot of cases, luxury, neutrality. Anybody can wear white just like anyone can wear black. A lot of the words that I use to describe my black fragrances, sultry, sophisticated, I would use to describe my white fragrances as well. Um, and it's very a wide range because using a neutral bottle, the juice could be anything. You could get a floral fruit, you could get a lactonic, you could get a floral lactonic. Like a black bottle doesn't mean you're gonna get a particular note. Where it's like green bottles, purple bottles, blue bottles, as we've talked about throughout the collection, you kind of have an idea sometimes looking at the color of the bottle, what you're going to get. But with white and black, it's not that simple. And with some metallic fragrances, it's just not that simple. And it's not always true for the other colors, but I think in particular for white and black, it's not always that simple. So when I think of white bottles and white fragrances, many times I start thinking about lactonics. I also start thinking of solar fragrances. Like I think of jasmine, or ylang ylang, or like those white flowers as well. So I know that there's so many fragrances and fragrance profiles we're going to cover, and we're going to start with a group. One of because there are a few groups of fragrance in this section. So the first group we're going to start with is actually Christian Dior, and these are some fragrances I've gotten from working. In spaces that include Dior. And so these are all J'adore fragrances. Um, Two of them are the same fragrance in different concentrations and different applications, and then the other is alcohol free. So we've got our alcohol free J'adore here. Um, yeah, Parfum d'Eau. This is without alcohol, or it's not alcohol based fragrance. We'll say that. I believe it's more water based. I've sprayed it. That's where I sprayed it. I was like, I sprayed it a second ago. What I like about it, it's not heavy. You know, sometimes our older houses, our legendary houses of fragrance, are known for really intense, really powerful, really overwhelming fragrances, almost offensive. And for some people, that's how they might describe the original J'adore, or White Diamonds, or Bleu de Chanel, or Chanel Number Five. Like those older fragrances are what really established fragrance and the experience of fragrance as what it is now. Like we have so many types and all these niche houses and styles of fragrance because of the OGs. What I like about this one is that without the alcohol base, the fragrance is lighter. It's much more approachable and it honestly smells like the body cream or body milk. I don't know if you've ever smelled the J'adore body milk. Really sad side story about that body milk. That was one of the first, like, luxury body items I ever bought myself was that bottle, the old school bottle of J'adore body milk. The tall, skinny one that looks kinda like this bottle, but the bottom, like, was a big white bottle, and it was you could squeeze it. It was but it was so luxe, and the top came off just like this, and then you just had, like, your little pour it was phenomenal. It was amazing, and when I bought it, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know. I've never smelled J'adore. This might be too much," but it was the perfect balance of the fragrance and the enriching body milk. And this smells just like the body milk smelled, like not too strong, but it's there. It smells like clean. It smells fresh. Um, but it's not just like any old clean and fresh. You can tell it's a luxury clean out of the shower freshness. So I really enjoy this one. And then both of these are J'adore and Infinissimi. Yes. And this fragrance is different than your typical J'adore, the J'adore Lore, and then the new J'adore Intense. This it's got this quality about it that reminds me of like licorice. I literally have a cut on my arm from being in the garden, and I sprayed this right on top of that. Like, come on, let's think. Um, there's a note in here that makes me think of licorice, and it could be the way that the fragrance compounds kind of work together, but it's got this licoricey kind of candy quality. It's still really rich, like J'adore is, but it doesn't smell as mature as J'adore does. It that and it's not a red licorice, it's like a black licorice note, which normally I'm not the biggest fan of. And it's like um licoricey foods, fennel, those kind of things when it comes not foods, but when it comes to like candy, I'm not a big fan of that. Don't no, don't give me the licorice bridge mix. Don't give me the black licorice. I'm cool with the Twizzler. I'm cool with like Australian licorice as long as it's not the black licorice. The flavor is just too unlike what I like. It's the opposite of what I like when it comes to candy. In a fragrance though, it's so much different. It's hard to explain because it's got a candy quality, but it doesn't smell like kids candy. It smells like an adult floral candy situation, like a luxury candy. Yeah, it's hard to describe, and that's why I have it in the roller pearl as well as in the eau de parfum. I love layering them together because you do get quite a bit of the fragrance with the roller pearl. Um, and it takes a slightly different like it's the exact same fragrance, but it's almost a little bit brighter at first in the roller pearl. So that's why I like layering them together. But yes, these are I think the only Dior fragrances that I have. I did have a Sauvage bottle. I did gift that to someone. Um, and so let's move on. Another section of fragrances. I am a fan of Okja. And Okja has these three, and all three of these are dupes, and all three of these I love, obviously, because they're still in my collection. So the first one is one I could just rave about time and time again. For anyone who loves Angel Share, there's so many great Angel Share dupes out there. This is another one. This is another great dupe of Angel Share by Killian. You get the cognac, you get the cinnamon, you get the sandalwood, you get the vanilla. You get it's boozy. It's boozy, but it's gourmand. It's kind of got a sweetness and a spice. It's perfection. Like there's no notes. There's no notes. There's no notes for it. They got it. They got it. And what I like again, just like with Dua, just like with maybe with Dossier, I know Okja and Dua are both 40%. 35, 40% when it comes to fragrance oil in the fragrance. So they're extrait de parfum. So much longer longevity or much more intense. There's more intensity and there's an increased longevity because of how much more oil is in the fragrance. The next one is body scent. And I tend to mix these two up, but I think I got it. I think I got it this time. I'm going to spray it, but I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Um, yes. Okay. So body scent is a dupe of eccentric molecules, molecule number one. I haven't raved enough about my obsession with fragrances like eccentric molecules, molecule number one, and Juliet has a gun superdose, which we'll get to in a moment. but it's really difficult to explain. They are single note fragrances. This one is Cashmeron, if I'm not mistaken. No, ISO E Super. ISO E Super. I think ISO E Super. I said it too fast, so then I know some people who don't know what that is are gonna be like, "What?" ISO E Super. ISO E Super, like superhero. Um, it is a compound that is used in fragrances many times to give it that close to skin musk moment, and it kind of adapts to the wearer. So many of those fragrances that you smelled that have that skin scent dry down, that use some kind of like musk, they're using maybe an ISO E Super or a Cashmeron or an Ambroxan to give you that quality. Ambroxan's more amber, Cashmeron's a little bit softer, more velvety, and ISO E Super is like a little bit more clean. But don't think warm cotton clean, think like clean skin clean. Like skin probably has ISO E Super in the yeah, the makeup of that fragrance, and it really takes it a little while to dry down so that you can actually smell the you of the fragrance. It's coming in and it's just warm skin, like, that's really all it smells like. Plus one, again, that's a hit out of the park, and the reason I bought both of these were for layering as bases. Plus one is a dupe of Superdose, or maybe it's a dupe of Not a Perfume. It's a dupe of Not a Perfume. Plus one is a dupe of Juliet Has a Guns, Not a Perfume. Uh, like it. I still don't wear it as much as I wear Superdose. And also have another one that's a dupe of Not a Perfume as we go into our next group. These are Okja. Our next group of three is Dossier. And it's so funny because I have two dupes of the same fragrance that is on this shelf here. That being Musky Musk is the next one. Musky Musk notes. Here we got the top Cedar Locks, which is all that's in Julia Asnine. Not a perfume, it's straight Cedar Locks. ISO E Super, Havana Light, another musk that has a slightly metallic finish to it, and then musks. Smells like nothing. I mean, like that's literally why it works, is because it doesn't smell like anything until you put it on your skin. And then you begin to get the quality that is Not a Perfume from Julia Has a Gun. Now, as I've talked about when I did my Musk series, everyone's not gonna be able to smell it. So I really apologize if you can't smell it, because it's hard to describe to someone who can't smell a musk what a musk gives. And it's not hard to describe what they are, but for them to really understand the smell of it, if they can't smell it, there's no way to describe that in a way that they're gonna understand, because they don't know the smell. They can't smell it. Over 50% of the population has musk anosmia, and I'm thankful that I'm in the part that don't have it, because I can smell the majority of musks that I spray, or at least I believe I can. Yeah. It's Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. And the thing about Not a Perfume is either you're gonna love it or you're not. It does not have a lot of intensity. It sits close to the skin and then it magnifies what's there. If your natural pH pheromone situation is not intense, it's not going to be intense. When I wear Not a Perfume, I feel like the fragrance itself is just not intense on me, which is why I wear Superdose. But we're going to get to Superdose in a second. I know I've talked about it before, but we're going to talk about it again. Other ones from Dossier I have to rave about, because I have gotten rid of half of my Dossier collection. I had Fruity Honey, which was Nectarine and Blossom from Joe Malone. It smelled good. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just very nectarine, and I wanted more honey. So I gave it to someone else who could enjoy it more than me. I had Ambry Saffron, emptied it, wore it, just slap out. I would get me another bottle, and they actually make a 3.4 of that one. Ambry Saffron, I'll have to re up on at some point. Um, I think I had another one. I think there was one more in there. Yeah, I think there was one more in there. But Woody Sage is a dupe of Joe Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. Does it smell exactly like it? No, but it is pretty close, and it is good. Yeah, because you definitely get the fig tree at the top and the grapefruit at the top. You get it, and I feel like you don't really get that with wood sage and sea salt, even though those notes are probably there. But you definitely get the marine notes, the ambrette that come next on the middle, the clary sage, and the amberwood. Like with a little time, it smells very much spot on like wood sage and sea salt. But on first spray for me, it doesn't. And I feel like a little bit more. Yeah, personally, I like it a little bit more than wood sage and sea salt, because the longevity is there, and you don't really get that from Joe Malone. That's not what Joe Malone London fragrances are known for, is longevity. You got some interesting compounds and some great fragrances, but to me, they're just not known for longevity. The final shout out from Dossier is one I would never give up because this is amazing. This is an original fragrance from them from the Genderless collection, and this is called Oud and Rose on Fire. Now, y'all know I love me a Oud fragrance, me a rose fragrance. I've raved about Oudgasm from Kayali, the Rose Oud. It is spectacular. It is perfect balance between floral and oud. And both of those are notes that are going to be offensive to some people. They're not going to love them. That's okay. It's okay if you don't love it. This for me is spectacular. It reminds me of the Kayali Rose Oud, but listen to these notes. Top, we've got pink pepper, pear, vegan honey. Middle, rose, oud, saffron. Base notes, vanilla, myrrh, musk, and plum. That sounds like a fragrance I would like. I love every single note in this fragrance. And I do love the fragrance. I sprayed it here, and it is the perfect balance between soft florals, a touch of spice, a touch of oud, hands down. I think one of their best fragrances. There are a few more that I want to get from them because they do have a wide collection of original fragrances, and I probably have 6 of their originals sitting in my cart waiting on me. But I have slowed down my buying. Um, I've slowed it down a little bit. Now, I did just make another purchase. And when that fragrance comes in, I'm so excited to review because Sniff just dropped a lactonic called 2% today. And being an ambassador, I got a little early access. So I got, as part of their breakfast collection, I got 2%, and I got me one of the body sprays. So we'll be doing a review of that quite soon. Moving on, that was the 3. Let's talk about the one that so many of the girls here are trying to imitate. Juliet Has a Gun. This is not a perfume, Superdose. And this is still one of my all-time fragrances. It still sits in my top 10. Pretty sure this was in my top 10 review when I did my top 10. What I love about this is that it's so spectacularly metallic on me. There's something that's just so different about how this fragrance smells on me than it does on people I've smelled it on. Like, the fragrance has a smell that you can actually smell when you smell the bottle, unlike Not a Perfume to me. But it doesn't take much for you to pick up on Superdose. Like, it doesn't take much. And I still don't feel like you can overspray this personally, but I love the way that this smells on my skin. Like, this smells amazing on me. I can only speak for me. Yeah, knock this out of the park. I love Julia As a Gun as a house. They make really nice fragrances. They just dropped a Banana Rush. Y'all look forward to me talking about that one soon with my new additions. Of course, I've talked about this fragrance before. This is actually what kicked off my whole online persona is talking about Baccarat Rouge 540. I keep a bottle. I will always keep this bottle. I don't know if I will ever repurchase this fragrance, and you have to go watch my review video to find out why. I don't know that I'll ever repurchase this, but I always love this bottle of Baccarat Rouge 540. It's just a beautiful composition. That right there really shifted things in the fragrance world, in my opinion. A major shift in fragrance happened when people discovered Baccarat Rouge 540 because I also feel like luxury became not just necessarily more attainable, it just became more of an expectation amongst lovers of fragrance. And people really started going all out to try and get that fragrance. Okay, next. Different direction. Yeah, we're gonna go in a different direction with a few here. So I've got 2 from Noise and 1 from Replica. This replica fragrance is Under the Stars. And as I was just talking about Oud, this is one of my treasures in my collection because this fragrance to me is a little bit, I'm not gonna say it's harder to find, but to walk in a store and not be like a replica store or a store that only sells fragrances, to walk in a store and try and get Under the Stars, it's not that easy to find in person. You have to know where to look in person to get this one. And I was very fortunate to get this at TJ Maxx for like 20, $30. Um, Small bottle, but I'm okay with that because I'm not going to wear this one a lot. Um, and what's crazy is this is not an old fragrance. only came out 4 years ago. The notes here are just oud and leather, and it is literally just oud and leather. But what's different about it when you compare it to like ombre leather, Tom Ford, is I feel like ombre leather is kind of offensive in how it's just straight leather. Like it's almost offensive to me in this smelling experience of ombre leather. And I've smelled 3 or 4 different iterations: parfum, eau de parfum, eau de ombre leather. I think there's another one in there. Like I'm not sure. I think yeah, there's a toilette, a parfum, eau de parfum. Okay, it's 3 of them. Yeah, this one is so much better to me because of the balance. The smoky thickness of the leather with the slight bright, it's not bright, but it's kinda spicy meets wood of the oud. It's completely different than anything, like, it's spectacular. Okay, I've raved about Unmute before. Noise is one of my favorite growing brands right now. They're doing some really interesting things, like, they've got, fragrance milk, a milk de parfum that I really feel like I should get one. Like, I've been thinking about it, I've been toying with the idea, but I did a review Unmute, and it is phenomenal. Love this fragrance. It's really, really good. Um as a result, I ended up buying another one from them, and this one's only human. And I'm gonna spray this one and we do a quick review, because I might have reviewed it on here, but I like Noise as a house, as a brand. Like they're very chic, very modern. I was expecting this to be more of your basic skin scent, and it's definitely a little bit richer than a basic skin scent, which I do like. And there's a vanilla in there that is really, really nice. I've actually got the notes right here. Hang on. Okay. Top note, pink pepper. Of course, I love that. Italian bergamot. Middle note, water lily bamboo. Base note, vanilla bean, ambroxan, and cedarwood, as I expected. It dries down though into a really sweet, yet rich skin musk. That's really, really nice. Love that. That is, I mean, yeah, y'all. If you have not smelled Noise, get down to your local Ulta, go smell them. It's really, really a dope brand. I know I reviewed this one before. Condensed milk from Demeter Fragrance Company, another like just fascinating brand. This fragrance is still good. It does smell like condensed milk as compared to like milk from commodity. Yeah, it is. It's definitely a condensed milk fragrance. Yeah. And it's getting sweeter. The more it macerates, the sweeter it's getting. It almost has like this boozy quality to it though that's really different. And I don't know if that's supposed to be the condensing process of it, but it does. This fragrance, I can't even tell you where I got this from. This could have been on a Temu or Shein order just to see what would happen. Souffelier Eau de Parfum. I remember liking this though, because I didn't get rid of it. We're going on the shoulder. I don't think I've ever sprayed on the shoulder on here. Yeah, I still like that. It's bright. Imagine like a crisp apple, fresh apple, like apple blossom. I think my deodorant has oud in it because I'm also getting oud. It's like a crisp apple melon blossom situation. I don't know what that is or where I got that from, but that's nice. I kept it. Even in getting things out of my collection, every time I come across it, I'm like, I still like this. Another one I've reviewed before, Latte Abiade. Y'all know how I feel about this. Y'all know I love me a good light tonic. This is a Bianco Latte dupe. I still like it. I wore it the other day. I actually wore this with Skin Intense. That was a fun experience. That was fun. But I think I want to start playing with this with more florals for the spring. Um, and maybe even wear this with Milk Orchid. I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but I did change this situation here and I put some of my favorite collections up here. And we've got my commodity collection and my clean reserve collection. Yeah, just a little thing. I don't know if y'all noticed that changed up there because it was hair care. I'm like, uh, duh. Next, I know I've reviewed this one on here too. This is another one of my favorites for fall and winter. This is from Boucheron. This is Ambre d'Alexandrie, and this is ambery, spicy. Think if Here we go. Here we go. Think if Demeter amber or any strong spiced amber fragrance that you have, and Angel Share had a baby. This is it. That's literally what's happening here. Yeah, I mean, wow. Sometimes I blow my own mind because that's literally what's happening there. Also know I've reviewed this one because I think I did this a scent of the day type video on one of my combos and situations I had going on. I love this fragrance. Hayati Gold Elixir from Latafa. Y'all know I love Latafa. I feel like they're one of the biggest Arabian fragrance houses, dupe houses. And this fragrance is just luxe. This is money. This is money. Get into it. This is money. I think we've made it down to 2 fragrances. I think we've got 2 left. Here we go. This is Henry Rose. This is from Henry Rose. This is Dave. I was trying to see. I thought the notes were written on here. What I do like is that this is an organic alcohol fragrance. They do utilize sugarcane. Ooh, that was not that color when I got it. We love when a fragrance macerates and changes color. And as y'all can see, I've worn this one. Um, it's been a while though. Hmm, that's hard to describe. I still like it, and that's hard to describe. It's sweet, almost kind of caramelly, but kind of florally. I think I'm smelling too many things. But I know I still like it because I smelled this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago and I wore it. But yeah, Henry Rose. This is Dave from Henry Rose Perfumes. And then finally, just because it's here, why not? I keep me a little roller ball of Nest New York's Balinese coconut. This is a beautiful solar situation. Y'all, there's your door. It's like, hey, did you forget about me? I mean, the projection, that longevity, that's nice. That's pretty. Balinese coconut. Oh, I put that right on top of Under the Stars because that was gonna work. Yeah. Solar coconut. Put some white flowers in there. Maybe a little bit of pine or cedar. That's nice. Y'all, I know I just yapped on and on and on this time around, but I really hope y'all have enjoyed this fragrance today. We just winded down the collection. There's some other things, so let me give you a little rundown. There's some other things we're gonna discuss because I didn't go through all of my Dua fragrances, and I didn't go through all of my Fleur minis. So there are a couple things there we need to go through. I've been going through my minis with Random Wear Wednesdays as we do our roller. So we're still getting there with that. And I have a couple discovery sets I'm going to share with y'all. So I'm going to do a discovery set video probably in the next couple of weeks, and just because there's some new things I really can't wait to talk to y'all about. So I'll see y'all next week. We got Q&A coming. Any more questions? Throw them down in the comments. Give us a like. Share with your friends. Share with your family. And I will see you in the next one. Phoenix J out.